Hello, and welcome back, my wonderful tome readers. As we are going to continue coffee talk today, gonna give a bit more time for any late showers. Make sure it does not accidentally progress. We are going to leave it in the little short stories section, which we've got a few stories we have not done actually. Let's see, did we do this one? Yes. Yeah, that's the robot, not butler, but like bellboy at the hotel story. Yeah. Cusey. For those of you unfamiliar with this, with my streams, I'm Lucy Ferris, head librarian, Morningstar Archives, which, good news, next stream, which is Thursday, Thanksgiving, for those of you in the US, which will be a fun little stream where I'm starting my next Minecraft long play with the end goal of finding a nice little place making a representation of the town of Freyford that the archives typically exists in, which will be fun. But also, in more like today specific news, fuck crazy. Because I don't have a webcam set up, I'm just this fun little PNG tuber via ViadoTube Mini. You can't see how just wrapped up I am, which is annoying. Like, it's not chilly. It's certainly not a proper way. It's not cold, but it's chilly. Like, if I put on a full jacket or sweater or anything, my body's like, nope, too much, we're gonna sweat. But I need something because there are just like spots where my body feels a little cooler and it's like annoying and distracting. I currently have a freaking a thin blanket I got from an airline because what was it? This is the flight to Hawaii to hang out with my brother when he's stationed there. That's right, and I had that just like wrapped around my abdomen like a belt, like folded in half, wrapped, just because like small my back was cold for some reason. I have a scarf around my neck, and that's mostly just so the ends trail down my back for a little extra oomph there. And I, on top of that, have a little half blanket, a wonderful birthday gift from a local friend, just draped around my shoulders. And it will be enough, because at any point I can loosen any of these a little bit, get some more air against my skin if I start sweating. But also they feel perfect the way they are, which is the most annoying bit. It's like, it's not even like super warm today. It's, what was it, like mid to high 30s, I think. So it's like certainly cool, not freezing yet. But ugh, annoying. Especially because apparently we're supposed to be down to the single digits, touching on negatives later this week. Potentially a risk of snow, which will be something this early in the year. Unfortunately, I will have to drive out for a couple one-day jobs, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. I will make do because they are close enough. Excuse me, and I have a fairly nice, not snow scraper. I mean, it's got a scraper on one end. But like clear, loose snow that isn't frozen to the windshield. It's got this wide foam edge, and it's just perfect. It makes very satisfying, like, squeeze across the glass, which is fun. Yeah, let's see, some of the stuff we've been through in this game so far. We have Gala, the werewolf, who is currently having some trouble. He hasn't admitted to us, but what we're seeing in local newspapers, the medicine that was supposedly helping werewolves across the nation, if not the world, rein in their urges during the full moon, is some sort of fraud. Is not working the way it's supposed to, and it's, in fact, was hurting some people. And there's an alternative, because apparently every werewolf has their own, like, personal, not cure, but something that helps them, like, calm down, controls those urges. Gala has been coming to us. We have it narrowed down. We know it's regular tea, not green tea, regular tea. Wait, right? Why? I'm going to go off my notes here. The fact that I just have tea on there, it means regular tea. Ginger and milk. And I had an idea after last stream. Because last stream, I had two opportunities. And I had done tea, ginger, and milk. And didn't work. And the second time he come in the last stream, he said, so like, why don't we try adding milk? Like, he already knew tea and ginger were in there. He said, why don't we try adding milk? It's like, but I did, sir. Turns out, and we got this from some of the other orders, the order of ingredients matters. So, hopefully he comes in again tonight so I can test this. I'm going to try tea milk in ginger. Unfortunately, tea always has to go first, unless milk is the main part of the drink, but then I can't add tea in anyway. That's the plan if we see them. Let's see, Hyde. Gala's vampire friend, / possibly more in the future. I don't know. I'm feeling some romantic tension between them. Let's see. Recently left town, though he promises to be back in a couple weeks. Hoping to stop in as well. He's sort of like an investor. Like an investor of small businesses. I know there's a term for that particular type of investor. Where it's not like through stocks and bonds. It's like, no, you're there in the early days, giving them a leg up. While the business... What is it? Business venture? I think that might be a business venture investor. But anyway. They'll be back soon, though we're not going to see them for a while. They were only in town for a particular event, but they do want to come back and keep on terms with Gala. We have, as we see here, Miss Rachel, who was part of a girl group until recently when she struck out on her own to be her own solo act. And pretty much everyone has clocked her as underage because she was wearing her fucking high school varsity jacket. I think they're varsity jackets. Yeah, anyway. It's like, you cannot drink alcohol, miss. And if you're out this late, we're pretty much the only place you come in for drinks, huh? Because we only do coffee. Technically, they're mixed drinks, but not that sort of mixed. You know what I mean. Let's see. Yeah, she's been fun, having issues with her dad. I think, actually, Dad was in last night, wasn't she? Sorry, wasn't he? And he was phrasing things in a way that Freya, the one regular that has been here every single night, author for a newspaper, the way Rachel's dad spoke to Freya, it sounded like he was flirting with her, going on to her, stuff like that, and it was very fun. That little misunderstanding. But also Freya, long-term friend, aspiring novelist, currently working, just doing short stories at the local paper. In fact, we're going to read some of those here. But she has a deadline to write the proper book, because the idea she originally had was apparently so bad she just scrapped it all, started over from scratch. And it's going to be a sort of a, I think the term is vignette, a bunch of little stories inspired by what she overhears here in the bookstop, the coffee shop, with a little twist. Because while this world has fantasy races like these, I actually can't remember the term for Miss Rachel here, but she can turn into a cat. I mean, obviously, vampire, werewolf, both previously mentioned aliens. I'm pretty sure Neil's going to make a comeback this day as well. But in Freya's book, it'll be just humans. What a wonderful metaphor. But yeah. I think with that, we're going to go ahead and read these short stories, and that'll be enough time for anyone who's coming in to get in. So first we have the anxious boy and his love stories on public transport. The day was hot, sunny and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. And actually, wait. Oh, we did read this one, because this is the guy who's on the bus and who's just... Here, I'm going to go to the bit that I remember just upset me. Let's see. They, like, acknowledge that this, assumptions, like just thinking in their head, his own head, it's like, what could have been, maybe she's the one, maybe she's perfect for him. There's a point where he acknowledges, like, no, I'm just daydreaming. I shouldn't make assumptions like that. I thought, okay, maybe he's gonna come up and learn something from it, but no, and then the story ends with, they both get off at the same bus stop, happen to look at each other, and she just smiles at him. It's like fucking manic pixie dream girl much, dude. It's like, Lord. I was making a comment about, has he not seen 300 Days of Summer or something such, but this game might have legitimately come out before that. I know it's not a super old game, but it is like more than 5 years. So yeah, that just a little bit irked me. Okay, stray boy and a lonely cat. Midnight. The boy arrives at his home. Taking sound of the cooling engine fills the dark, empty garage, followed by the scrape of the rusty metal door being forcefully closed. He leaves the garage, and there she is, waiting for him to come back home. She always waits in the same spot around the same time. Well, he always smiles when he sees her. The cat calls the boy, demanding the treatment she always receives from him every night in the same spot around the same time. He laughs quietly as he walks up to join her. You've been waiting for me, haven't you? Here, come here, says the boy to the cat while he pets her fur. The cat purrs loudly and refuses to stand still. She dances around him, stands up tall on 2 feet, rubs her head against his shins, and shares her affection while enjoying their nightly routine. Until suddenly, the boy decides that the interaction is enough for today. He stands up, walking away from her, and closes his door. The cat understands that their time for the day is up. They both return to their own lives. The boy did not give the cat something to eat, and the cat did not sleep next to him to help him relax. For she was not his, and he was not hers. Interesting. I'm not sure what this story's trying to say. Like, fleeting moments, not necessarily having to be romantic. Because, like, all these are supposed to be, like, quote-unquote, inspired by the previous day's things. Maybe it's about Mr. Neil, the alien, who is looking for love in all the wrong ways. Okay, gonna take a sip before loving silence. It was a Saturday night. As usual, I picked her up from her apartment for another Saturday night date. I used the word another, but to be honest, this was the first actual Saturday night date we'd done since I don't even know when. It wasn't every week a cool event related to our hobby happened, so we, or I suppose I should say, weren't going to miss this chance for a cozy evening in her apartment. We'd only been dating for 4 months, and I kid you not, we couldn't have been more different. I'm the type of person who feels restless if I don't go out on the weekend, while she'd prefer to lock her apartment from the inside, flush the key down the toilet, and never leave again. That's why me going out to her apartment on the weekend was the fairest option for both of us. We can just order food online, chill without having to worry about the rain. Ain't that cool? That's what she said whenever I asked if she wanted to eat out somewhere. That happened a lot in our first month together. After that, I just tried to get used to it. We drove to the event. It wasn't that far, but traffic's always ridiculous on the weekend. Throughout the drive, we barely spoke. Total silence except for the music playing from my playlist. If she knew the song, we would sing along to it. If not, then total silence it was. When we arrived at the event, she changed. She became the most outgoing, friendly, and talkative person around. Even I was nothing compared to her, and I usually consider myself a very talkative person. We said hi to everyone we knew, and some we didn't. And then we tried all the games being showcased there. We sat next to each other, trying one game after another, commenting on the story, art, music, gameplay, atmosphere, any other aspects you might use to judge a game. But when we played, we just played. No talking during the playthrough. Total silence, as if she was recharging spent energy from all the interacting she'd done before. Back in her apartment, we didn't talk much. She made 2 cups of green tea latte for both of us, and then we watched Netflix together, with only a few words traded. Don't you feel bored dating me? She asked. Really? This again? I know. I'm sorry to bring this up again, but you were so silent today, I thought you were mad at me. Honey, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be? I don't know. It's just that I'm super introverted. You're super extroverted. And there are times when I feel like I'm holding you back from your true self. You're just overthinking things. Honey, tonight was amazing. I can't thank you enough for being willing to join me and sacrifice your stay-at-home relaxation time. We both know how much you love staying in and how rarely you get the chance to do it. Why do you like me? You've asked this question 12 times in the last 4 months, you know? Nudged her and smiled. I just wanted to make sure, she said as she started crying. Hey, don't be sad, it's okay. And to answer her question, I don't know why I like you. That answer again! Because it's true. All I know is I feel comfortable around you. I just feel happy, calm, and I don't know, do I need to know? That sounds dangerous. Liking someone without knowing the reason. Oh, believe me, dear. I was confused for the longest time before I realized it's actually the best feeling I've ever had. Now, you, why do you like me? Who said I liked you? I was speechless for a moment. She grinned at me and giggled through the remains of her tears. You should have seen your face. Oh my god, don't mess around with me like that. Almost gave me a heart attack. Good. Means you weren't lying about your feelings. You haven't answered my question. It's a secret. That's not fair. I told you mine. I hate to break it to you, but don't know is not a proper answer, my dear. But it's an honest one. I know. And we stayed silent again. So, that was my introvert girlfriend and me. My answer to her was obvious a lie. Not knowing why you like someone is super scary. I never imagined being able to feel like that for anyone other than her. At least, that's how I wish things could be. I thought as I drove back home, alone in my car, in total silence. Alright. So I think common thread of Freya's stories, they all seem to be related to not necessarily like love, but affection, the connections between people. And just kind of like exploring them all. Like, probably the strangest one to connect that theme would be Cyberpunk Love Hotel, because it's a robot that feels like just super sexualized by random customers. It's not particularly about a good feeling and connections between people, but it's there. And that's obvious. French Kissing Cat is strange. Definitely stays with connection theme, not just because apparently they French a cat and like it, because what was it? The setting was like is a first date thing. It's like you're not gonna like the answer. I'll answer it, but know that you're not gonna like the answer. It's just I'm still not entirely sure what that's about. I think this might be Freya thinking she wants to French the cat lady. Maybe. But yeah. Strange little game, but oh so fun. If only because it gives me an excuse to make some absolutely horrific voices for characters. Ooh. Test my own memory of what voices I did. I can't remember. I don't think I did any sort of like accent with Miss Rachel. Let's see. I think I tried to keep it more bubbly, positive, like a super bright spring-colored teen. I can do a big cough and a sip. Alright, cough's as good as it's gonna get. Hello, Miss Rachel. Hi, Lucy. What's wrong? Huh? Nothing. Nothing. I've just been practicing all day and I'm pretty tired. Are you having a concert soon? Don't tell anyone yet. It'll be announced tomorrow. But I'm going to perform at Coachella next week. Which I'm not sure why they have to, like, rename Coachella, if that's what they're doing. Is Coachella an actual thing? Not a parody? Who's to say? Not me, because I'm still not entirely sure what Coachella was. I'm sure music was involved. But I don't know if it was, like, a contest or, like, looking for new talent or something. But whatever it is, she's apparently performing at it next week. They're still adding new performers. Yeah, you might say that those announced this late are backups. Oh. But it's still the biggest festival in the country. Yes. And I'm excited for it. I think I should celebrate with a special drink, something sweet. What do you want to order? A sweet hot chocolate. Alright, we can give that a try. Actually, wait. Let's see. I'm going to need one of those. Okay, double chocolate and a honey. How does that come out? Honey chocolate? Nope. Oh. I don't have any more gimmies, apparently. Okay, I hope this is good enough. It is rather sweet. Oh, there, I'll say that much. Your sweet hot chocolate is ready. Thank you. Well, how is it? Not bad. It's not special, but it's enough. Please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything else. Thanks. Right, yeah, I was in the middle of a day. I forgot. Myrtle and Aqua, who both have knowledge about designing video games. Myrtle has a upcoming convention. No, Aqua. Aqua has a submission for an upcoming convention. Myrtle's in the middle of a project, but she, excuse me, promised to take a look at Aqua's current game thus far, because they need a convention playable version. Not like the whole game, but something condensed. And I believe that's when Miss Rachel came in. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Other than the instruction on the loading screen, try putting a time limit on how long they can play. Why? Wouldn't that break their immersion? Probably, but in case there's a good reaction to it, you might have people lined up to play a game. Don't want to make them wait too long. That makes sense. If you don't want to put a time limit on it, try ending the demo with a cliffhanger. That should get people's attention. Noted. Oh, and yet another guest. Dad? Oh. Sir, did you have to go, like, on this side of her? You couldn't have gone, like, the far one? So whatever family business could have stayed between you and not been a cool group thing? Like, I know why they couldn't, because limitations to the game and such, but it's like, in real life, if there's only 3 people at the counter, and you're going to sit by one specifically, you go on the side that's not near complete strangers, you know? What are you doing here? After what you did at the studio this evening? I was worried. I couldn't find you anywhere around the studio. So I thought you'd be here. Got the staring match. And now you're causing another ruckus. We're sorry, Lucy. We didn't mean to cause you any problems. You are sorry. I don't have anything to be sorry for. Well, anyway, I'd better order something. Well, what are you having? What would you recommend? Might I suggest a cup of Spanish Sahara? Oh, what is that? It's basically a hot chocolate with milk and ginger. Sounds delicious. I'll take that Spanish Sahara. Milk and ginger, was it? Yeah, hot chocolate with milk and ginger. Milk, ginger. Please be the correct order. Yep, okay. And apparently some churros. Just to dip in there. Your drink is ready, sir. And after that, we'll see what this is about. My. This is amazing. Glad you liked it. Okay, so get this just out of the way. Like, I really wish the game would just show you everything I discover. Because I've certainly found more stuff than this. It's just not auto-update. Ugh. Anyway. Let's see, is it about the father here? Nope, it's about Rachel. I think that's a new profile image. That's kind of cute. Doesn't really fit the vibe she's currently going out, which I guess is fine. Because she was famous before leaving the girl band. Now that she's solo, she probably wouldn't want to be too recognizable. Let's see. I had a self-summary, Rachel Florentia. You might have seen me on your screen singing, dancing, or modeling. Working on a new album, especially for you right now. Classic, parasocial level stuff. Hendry here. Music enthusiast and father. Very understated. The kind of, breathy, almost depressed voice is good for him. Dad. Yes. Please, just go home after you finish your drink. Not until you leave that good-for-nothing pervert. I need him. He's going to help me become more successful. I know, Morris. He is not a good person. The industry has changed, Dad. It's not like 20 years ago. Besides, since he left, he's been growing his brand, making his name, managing a lot of stars so they become superstars. I still have my informants in the industry. He hasn't changed much. Even if he has, it wasn't for the better. You're just being paranoid. First, you were afraid of how my fans would treat me. Now you're afraid of the industry too. What's next? You'll lock me in the house because you're afraid of the air I'm breathing? You're just too young to understand. Then make me understand. Because it's definitely not helping. There are better ways. Didn't you learn anything from Mom? You were together for almost 15 years. But you learned nothing. Not even how to talk to your own daughter. Rachel. I'm sorry. But I'm trying, okay? Try harder. Because right now, you're not helping anyone. Not me, not you, no one. I know. But give me a chance. You know what? It will take time for me to learn. I am learning. Or, I could return to the industry. I could try to be your manager. Dad, are you out of your mind? You've been out of touch for so long. I told you, I have informants there. I'm not that out of touch. Of course, there are things I'd need to figure out. But doesn't work that way, Dad. You know that. Going from a girl band to a solo career won't be easy. If I take things slow, I'll lose all my momentum. If you don't want me to be your manager, can you at least choose someone other than Morris? I don't think so. Mr. Lester is at the height of his career now. He's my best chance right now. Don't be too paranoid, okay? I've made my decision. Now, please go home. Relax. Don't ever come to the studio again. I'm going back there. Need to practice for the festival. It's only a few days away. And that's a big chance to boost my presence as a solo artist. When are you going to be home? I don't know. I'll be staying at the hotel the label provided. But that's... See ya, Dad. Wait, Rachel. Excuse me for a moment, Lucy. Dad's trying way too hard. Way too hard. I'm sorry about what just happened. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, we were busy minding our own business anyway. What? Didn't hear the argument, Myrtle? Of course I heard him. I just chose to ignore most of it. It's none of my business, is it? That's amazing. What's so amazing about that? I don't think I could do that. Dividing and focusing my attention is completely... Especially when there's an argument like that. Are you saying you weren't listening to my advice and you were focusing on them instead? No, I was listening. I made notes. See? You didn't even realize. But you are capable of focusing your attention. Now that you mention it, it happens naturally, I guess. Being born to a big family is useful after all. Yeah, sometimes we don't even realize what we're capable of doing. By the way, you want to head back now? Yeah, it's pretty late. You know, Lucy, we're leaving. Hope you have a good time. Thank you for the drinks, as usual. Please, take care on your way home. I'm still not a fan of the squishy sounds Aqua makes when she enters and leaves. It's... I guess that's all for to... Oh, he's back. Oh, you're back, Mr. Hendry. Yeah, you're a bit overprotective, if I'm being nice. If I'm being honest, you're being super overprotective, because there's better ways to be doing what you're trying to do. Are you alright, sir? Also, thank you for bringing your cup back. I appreciate that. Sir? Oh. Yes. Please, don't worry about me. Did you manage to catch up with Miss Rachel? No. I lost her. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm sure she's alright. I hope you're right. By the way, pardon me for asking. Yes? Are your arguments with Miss Rachel? Something kept bugging me. What's that? Why did you leave the music industry? Now that's a trip down memory lane. You don't have to tell me if it makes you uncomfortable. No, it's fine. I left around 20 years ago, just as we were welcoming the beginning of the new millennium. It was a great time for girl bands, you know? They were huge in the 90s. They were still enjoying the leftover sensation of the past decade. I met my wife while working. She worked for a record label. That's how we met. I decided to get married and settle down. I want a peaceful life. You didn't find peace managing girl bands? Oh gosh, no. The politics, the dark side of the industry, none of it's good. But what hit me the hardest was the fans. Toxic fans are the worst. Teenage girls especially, they were crazy about their idols. To the point where they started doing really unimaginable stuff. Like what? Spending all their money trying to copy the superstar lifestyle, bending their responsibilities, their families. And then they are even worse. They sexualize the girls in every way you could possibly imagine. Edited photos, stalking, outright sexual assault. It was before the internet, mind you. I mean, the internet existed, but it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. I wasn't even the target of the abuse. But it haunted me. It was everywhere. Don't talk to me about peace. I couldn't sleep back then. Not getting enough sleep is dangerous for cats. But he has a point. Especially because before the internet, it was harder to stalk someone. You couldn't just, Google someone's concert plans. You'd have to go, either people who already learned them themselves or who were big in the... I don't want to say the business, because that kind of, implies they're in some way profiting off the music sector. But, you couldn't just look up any old person's schedule. You'd have to find someone who had, a reason to know it, to advertise it themselves. Hell, advertising was a lot harder. But I think that's also the big reason why you don't get music stars like they used to be. And I don't mean, quality of music. I mean, for maximum profit, a lot of industry leaders in music try to get people to appeal to the least common denominator. Is that the right term? It's probably not the right term. But someone with the most mass appeal. But it's so easy to find anyone, even smaller artists. A fucking Unwoman. The only artist I'm, even bordering on a ride or die for is not a huge name. I found her at a convention. And I wasn't even going to the convention for her. It was a steampunk convention. I just happened to pass her on the way to my room, and it is fucking gorgeous music, man. And I have supported most of the Kickstarter she has done because she crowdfunds her CDs. Heck, I think there are at least 2 of them where one of the things you could purchase through the Kickstarter is getting a vinyl style record to play her music, which fits the vibe for Unwoman. She is a lot of cello and occasional violin work. It works. But I wouldn't have been able to follow her, get as much knowledge about her touring schedules or her releases in the internet of the late 90s, early 2000s. It is a different time, is a different place. But also the industry, because you have to wring every single dollar out of the dead horse before you find the next big star. Having a hard time to find each individual star. There's some rough stuff. Those of you who are been around the VTuber sphere the last few months, you've probably heard about HoloLive and the Iron Mouse situation. And it's the shit that happened with HoloLive and the treatment of their talents. Imagine that, but worse. And before internet, so even if you had enough proof to, bring it out to the world, air the dirty laundry, you couldn't really get anywhere unless you had the money to have a full-on lawsuit against the company. It also meant when it came to someone full-on stalking a big name, whether they're a celebrity or a musical artist, the amount of work to do it meant only the most obsessed or creepy or dangerous people are the ones who actually found their target. Okay, it's one thing for it's hey, you have any gifts you want to give to this person, just send it to this location along their tour or to a P.O. box. Between the two, the P.O. box is a lot more dangerous because that person or someone they trust is going to show up there and pick up those packages and letters, while having them sent to the venues to be picked up when the person passes through on their tour. Slightly safer, but again, they still know when they're going to be in town, time frame wise at least. So yeah, it's just for the context, if anyone who's a lot younger than me, not knowing how bad things were, it's imagine how bad things are now, but a lot fucking harder to both get the proof and then share said proof to the world. Fuck, there's still some things getting uncovered nowadays that happened way back when. But anyway, yeah, I was not expecting things to go this particular direction. I knew there was a chance. I mean, musical artist being one of the main cast. Fuck, she appeared on the second night, I think. But man, yeah, the darker side of the industry is probably going to pop up and get worse before it gets better. What do you do for a living now? After we got married, my wife and I opened a record store. It's not big, but we have a very specific audience. We're niche, but they love us for it. Classic Seattle. It's more than enough for our little family. You said you're still in touch with your friends in the music industry. They visit my place from time to time, and we all meet up at least once a year. Usually it's at my place. Gosh, look at the time. I should go home too. Are you gonna be alright by yourself? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm an old cat. We're stronger than most people think. See you later, Lucy. And sorry for bringing our fight to your place. Don't worry about it. Alright then. Goodbye. That is the end of that day. Okay, Shingen Maicha? Variation of Japanese brew mixing brown rice with ginger. But how would we get the brown rice? That's okay. Okay, the next day, this night, color scheme looks a lot more purple than I remember. Maybe because we have approaching full moon? Okay. Oh, this... God, I wish there was a full article to read, because I want to know what's going on here. And I do like another use of a meme reaction image. What is the girl running with balloons in her hands? Like, oh God, gotta get out of here. Coachella organizer reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. There is still a zombie plague about. Be careful. Rachel Florencia confirmed to perform at Coachella 2020. Gil Nyman and Maruki Harukami to collaborate for a new IP. God, again. Gil Nyman reference is not aged well. Alright, who's first for tonight? Sorry, we're not open yet? Oh, Neil! You've come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There is definitely something that you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me? What? Is it possible for us to work here? Why? We have learned something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth, and Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn that you need to mix between the verbal and non-verbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skill has improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned. We learned them here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy.
That is why we asked you to allow us to work here.
Because you want to interact with our customers?
That is correct.
I'm not sure about this. Neil, normally if you are applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you finally get the job, if you get it at all.
Oh.
Let me think this over, if you don't mind. And I'll let you know tomorrow.
Oh, no. We are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today.
May I know why?
Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow.
Okay. God, he's doing the finger touch thing. It's like, please. Okay.
Thank you.
But with one condition. You won't be making any drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer.
Understood.
There are other things you need to keep in mind.
What is that?
Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might come just for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything.
How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not?
That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language.
Non-verbal signs?
Yes.
That will be very hard for us.
Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking, or when you should stop.
Oh, thank you. We will need that so much.
Well, that's basically all you need to do here.
Do we need a special outfit to do the job?
Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to help keep your suit clean, and to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation, but it will make you look more legit for the job.
That is a very earthling thing to do.
It is. All right then. Are you ready for this?
We are.
Okay, let's start the night. This is going to be interesting. With a capital E, to make it super interesting, because interesting starts with the letter I.
Welcome.
Holy wow! What the hell is happening?
Good evening, Miss Freya.
Hey, Lucy, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. It's not that. Neil is just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. This is very much true. We've done pretty well for ourselves. I don't think we've had a single night with more than 6 people. Even if that's over the course of an hour, that's not bad.
There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around.
They want Earth to conquer them.
Second, judging from the situation, we are actually the person who's getting help from the barista, not the other way around.
What?
We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to a conclusion before starting another breeding mission. We should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place was the best place to learn.
And you just agreed to this? On a condition. I make the drinks. Neil will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you then? But you're helping them here. What do you get in return?
Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask.
Don't mention it. Well, maybe you can be my next story. I could write an article about your work here. Freya. If I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? She found out. Oh. Oh, indeed. I don't think it's been brought up since the first episode, but she's been writing for her book while at work. Like, she gets her other writing done too, but she was already... Sorry. She's already doing personal work on company time. Hence the problem that is about to come forth. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. Actually, wait a second. Let's test that. Is there a new story? There is still a new story. How did she find out? You remember my fateful meeting with the higher up? In the elevator? Yeah. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other on the lift. And the higher up mentioned our encounter to her. Chief called me into her office, and things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that, hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know. Excuse me. Again.
We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya, but we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house.
Huh? You allowed to do that?
We will pay for the drink.
No, it's okay. It's on the house. That was a nice thing to do, Neil.
That was the best thing to do according to our senses.
It was.
So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya?
Your favorite.
Our favorite?
Anything. I trust you with the decision. Alright, let's try something weird. Or more specifically, that is not in here. Milk. Milk base. Let's see what we can do. Fuck her up, as they say. That's a cool... I'm curious. Wait, why is lemon also cool? Interesting. Milk, lemon, and mint. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Is it an actual drink? It's apparently an actual drink. Okay. Lemon mint milk. Sure thing.
Here is your drink. Especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop.
Well, who else is going to brew it? Right? Thank you so much for this. I always wondered why your place only served hot drinks. But today, I might have an idea why. I mean, here's an idea why. It's a lot easier to mix things if they're all warm. That's a fun little science fact for you in the audience. Things that are warm, easier to mix up. How far along are you with the novel? I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood, that sounds doable, even without the caffeine infusion.
Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races, and we do not think infusing your blood with caffeine would be advisable.
I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation.
It was just...
Neil. Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee.
Oh. We are glad to hear that, then.
That was a figure of speech, Neil.
Ah, we have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language.
It will always be hard. Languages will keep on changing.
Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if I may ask,
Ask away.
how fast do you write?
Not fast enough, apparently.
But do you have numbers?
Numbers?
How many words do you produce per day?
I don't think I have the exact number. But full time, let's see, carry the two. Should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. Which, I mean, is fair. I think one of the better writing advices I've heard that would probably work for everyone, and I'm gonna fucking spitball the wording, because it's not one I bothered, like, memorizing, but it came from Stephen King, who, when asked by George R.R. Martin how he writes so much, Stephen King says, like, well, he shoots for several hundred every day. To which George replies, well, what about the days you don't feel like writing? He's like, still several hundred per day. And the thing is, about that advice, is you can't just take it literally like that. It's like, just write every single day. It's like, you don't have to write on anything useful. It's like, even on your bleh days when you don't feel like doing it, think of it like working out. If you rest too long between sessions, like the reason people do workouts and physical training every day is 'cause too much rest, your body is not in peak prepared to work out form. It takes multiple days to get back to where you were. It's why so many professional lifters and such always look jacked and not like just leading up to an event. It's because it's a lot harder to gain it back if you've lost it. And similar with writing or drawing every day, if you're doing it every day, even on the bad ones, you're not losing some of that muscle memory of being used to going through the motions. And with writing especially, you can write crap. It doesn't have to be for a big project. You can write little short stories or poems you have no intention of sharing. You can do prompt writing. There are like at least 3 or 4 good writing prompt blogs on Tumblr, which I know because I follow like 2 of them just for the stuff good enough that they then reblog what people have done with that prompt. There are some wonderful ones out there. Some of them are one-off, some of them eventually spin off to short series of short stories. So you can write something intentionally bad just to get your words in, but that's still writing. You're still practicing your wordsmithing. And who knows, maybe an idea eventually becomes something more. Something you thought was just going to be pass the time, keeping writing shape, becomes a big project you can pull from later. That's the reason you write every day. Sorry, sidetracked is just fun thing. And, sometimes you're going to have bleh days, and if you just muscle through and create something, it's better than not having done anything at all. But yeah, 3,000 to 5,000 words. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. Usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote.
According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000.
That's right. But for this draft, I don't really need to write that much.
That is pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write?
Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words, so still shorter form literature. If I recall correctly, depending on who you ask in the book industry, a proper novel is anywhere between 35 to 40,000 words. There are some decent short form fiction on AO3, which is below 15,000, but still takes a while to read through. So 15 is a lot, but it's also a lot less than you think. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media, the biggest publisher around.
If we count based on the number of words, it seems that you will be able to achieve your target easily.
I wish. Writing is not only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories.
That is pretty hard to understand.
15,000 words, I think your stories average between 1.8 thousand or so. I mean, true, but she is like trying to appeal to specifically a book industry representative. Also, welcome in, Brazen. I mean, I think I probably said it before you came in. Like, the lowball amount of words for something to be called a proper novel is 35,000, with some industry leaders saying it doesn't really count till 40,000. It's like, I've read some great fics that fall short of both of those, but also because they're shorter, it's a lot easier to keep your predicted timeline straight. It's a lot easier to edit, for instance. Like, there's one series I'm reading right now, and I think it's approaching 1.5 million words. Over the course of 2.5 years, they've been posting it. Now, I only recently found it, so I've got a bunch to get through. I'm like chapter 130 of 172 at this point. It's a lot. And that's something someone put out for free. But I think without the pressure of, some industry hotshot breathing down their neck, it's probably a lot easier than people who do it for a living. Now there's something 35,000 word. Short stories for compilations, on the other hand, are lower requirements. Yes. And she is definitely a shorter fiction writer. I mean, she's the one who does all these little short stories. Heck, one was like borderline a poem in here. So it's new territory for her, but it's not nothing. I mean, she says she writes 3,000 to 5,000 a day, about half of which she keeps after the editing stage, but I mean, still, that's quite a lot for a single day. I don't write that much for my my tabletop campaign, but that needs to be loosey-goosey enough to be flexible for my players if they do something I was not expecting. Because I love them too much to say no, unless it's like super fucking weird, you know? It's like, I'm not sure I can justify that in the setting we have at this moment. Let's see.
But we have learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthlings.
Yeah.
Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to arts.
Right again? But you're not that wrong about writing, you know? Word count is one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there.
So is it still a valid perimeter?
Definitely.
Cool.
That didn't sound like you at all, Neil. Let's see. 29 stories, 30,000 words. They've overestimated the average word count, though the links might still be closer to mean. I mean, true, but also, like, if you're doing, like, proper second passes, like, editing and rewording, or even rearranging chapters, I'm sure you also do a lot more than the average. Because that's just the average word count of what was good enough to share. I'm sure you have a file or two where it's like, nah, it's not even worth erasing this to start over again. We're just going to delete this document. Editing is for the weak. Well, then I guess I may be very weak indeed. Editing is how I save the small things that are... Oh, I don't know when I clicked out. I do editing for it's like, this is a good written segment, doesn't fit the story. I'm going to save that over there. Maybe it's useful later. Oof. Like now that my campaign 2 is done, writing all the little, like, potential plot threads to pluck at for the players' backstories for campaign 3, the NPCs they've added. It's taken some time, but it's very fun. Yeah, seriously, these are just some bits of flash fiction lobbed up in Reddit HFY. I'm not sure what it stands for, but context. I mean, if it's something you're flash fiction regularly putting up on Reddit, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, there are like 2 different writing prompt tumblers I followed just for the things that are good enough that they reblog someone's add-on. It's great. Humanity, fuck yeah. Okay. Yeah, fuck. I think I have a short story anthology of just that type of a story, too. It's like, what if humanity are this space orc equivalent type stories? And all of them went in various different directions. It's very nice. Also, I've been at it for about an hour. Gonna stand up, stretch a little. Oh yeah. My knees are slightly happier. Okay. The Buck Cuban's wand is a prime example of age of why, yeah. Heck, that might even be the one I have, because it sounds familiar enough. If it's not, it's certainly one I checked out at the library or something. But honestly, anthology stories are the best. Especially if it's like a bunch of different writers. It's like not everyone. It's time for a big ol' novel. Fucking multi-chapter tale. Like, they're great. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes something shorter, quicker, easier to digest is nice. Especially when you need a bunch of different, like, quick morals and concepts to draw from a campaign. It's not plagiarism if I'm just using the core theme as an idea. Let's see, that didn't sound like you at all, Neil. Guess you really are learning something on Earth. Wait, third guest for this night?
Oh, another guest.
Oh, wait, it's Myrtle.
Good evening, Miss Myrtle.
She's got a lot to say about that. Oh, what's going on with that? Close that. Sorry. We're just saying it's not plagiarism, it's stealing from multiple sources. It's research. Exactly. It's like don't pull a Gil Nyman, as this game has him, where it's like, oh hey, this person's got a great concept, but I'm gonna write it better. It's like, nah. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. Sure. Ginger's that one. Warm and bitter. All right. The J. Tubluk. Okay. She asked for this previous day. Apparently that's how we make it. 2 coffee and a ginger. Let me just click this. Oh, we got something new. We're going to check that real quick. Okay. Recipe things out. Who did we learn about? Ooh, from Myrtle. I feel like this is different. Pretty sure that picture changed. Oh, anyway. Game for camera, working on the Full Metal Conflict series. Yeah.
Your order is ready.
Not bad. Thanks.
You are welcome. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle?
Psst, Neil. Some people come to a coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed.
Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visits here.
Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Sorry for being heard. Pardon us. I was just training Neil in how to talk with the customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid.
Oh, no, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other.
Yep, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion. If you want to blend in with us, stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which, essentially, is not really listening at all.
That would be difficult to achieve, but we will try. Step by step.
One small step for this... I was going to say Martian kind, but that might be a little racist to aliens. For intergalactic kind, yeah, that seems right. One small step for... Oh, God damn it! I made the same joke the game was about to make. Might be one giant leap for your kind.
That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then?
Yeah. Neil reminds Brazen of that infamous Babylon 5 episode where... Sorry, my eyes are being weird. Okay, it is. Ivanova... Ivanova? Ivanova sounds more right. Needs to consummate diplomatic relations with a newly encountered species. That is a fantastic way to phrase that. I'm not familiar with that novel. Sorry, with that show. Like, I don't think I've seen more than, like, scenes out of context, like, full episode. But from what I've seen, that's about the vibe I could believe happens. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. What's the occasion? No special occasion. It's just... Oh, Aqua? Not Aqua. Oh, nope, there it is. There's the squish. I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... good grief. Backpfeifengeschicht absolute must-see. Entered the multi-season arc with the show. So much media I need to catch up on. That's the one with all the stuff. I will try some intentional watching of Babylon 5 instead of out-of-context clips. There's just so much cool sci-fi stuff. It's like some of it blends together and it makes me feel weird. It's like, am I remembering everything for this show? Or is this bleeding in from like Stargate SG-1? Or hell, the Stargate movie, which is not quite connected to the SG-1 show. Don't even get started on Stargate Atlantis. Oof. What is this? What is happening here? I already told the barista to call the cops when he said he was going to breed here. Wait, I don't remember her telling us this. Oh, Lord. Look at that. I'm also forgetting stuff I've been recently playing, too. Where is Lucy? Miss Aqua, please? Relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yeah, Babylon 5 was the first show to have 5 seasons of story arc lined up by the time the pilot was being shot. Oh, very nice. Which I'm sure more shows are doing nowadays, but that's more because fucking Netflix ruined the format. It's like, yeah, we're going to approve you for a season at a time, so you're not even going to really know if you're still going to get that next season or not. It's like, you crazy motherfuckers. Yes, everything is fine, Aqua. Okay. Please let me catch a breath. Here, drink. Please drink this water. Feeling better now? Yeah, yes. I'm sorry.
It is all right, Miss Aqua.
I mean, nobody did it before. I know that. But I mean, like, a lot of shows doing it nowadays is less than should be, for the context I gave of just, like, they don't know if they're getting that next season or not, so they gotta be prepared type bullshit. Instead of the legitimate reason of the best way to have a plot is have some little, like, foreshadowing hints, character development planned, to actually get there without feeling like someone skipped a few steps. Like what is it? Like the Fooly Cooly anime. There are some weird moments in there. It's like, is this part of the plot or was it just for shits and giggles? What is going on with the show? Which is kind of low key the point of the show. Because what was it? It's like to help advertise for the band that made most of the music, which kind of lost some of that in translation to the US. So yeah, studio meddling is still a huge problem, absolutely. Good in some ways. Stranger Things is doing pretty good from that. But not everything. Not everything is thriving. I can't remember if I said this, I'm just going to do it again.
It is all right, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here.
What are you doing here anyway?
We are certain to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question.
Indeed, Neil. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So, here's the deal.
Okay, we just... Another fade out for him to explain. That's good. Oh! And now he's on this side. Interesting. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Lucy. It's nothing really... But do you really think one day is enough to learn everything?
Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this planet's business for... Oh, wait. Sorry. Disturb this place's business for any longer.
As if this place cares about business.
Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start. But we cannot limit ourselves to just this place.
Where do you want to go after this? Yeah, I knew it was... I fucking knew it was going to be Coachella.
Coachella.
What? What are you going to do at Coachella?
According to our research, there are many breedings happening.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm kind of regretting not knowing more about Coachella for the context. Is that actually what it's known for? Or are there like jokes about kids being born exactly 9 months after Coachella, and then growing up to become theater kids because what their parents were or something? Okay. Straight voice.
There are many breedings happening during Coachella. That is why we decided that the event will be our next target.
Well, I know it says Coachella, but obviously it's referencing Coachella, right? Unless there's really another event also just called Coachella instead of Coachella. I don't know. I might just be blind to large swaths of pop culture that I was not aware were real, and not just referencing other things I did know. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Is Coachella a thing? Okay, nope, it autocorrected to Coachella. Good to know. Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say the baby has to be born out of love?
Yes, well, we noticed that. But we also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding manners. That is what we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings.
Ah, so he wants to watch. Sorry, easy joke. I shouldn't say this, but hell, it sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here.
We know. We also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. So, our discussion with Miss Burntle was stopped abruptly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing together? It's nothing. We're just friends, you know. I'm pressing F to doubt. Aqua. Shifty Eyes McGee over here. It's like, no, we're just friends, I swear. We just want to hang out and talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember? Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see. I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I've never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander. So I've been asking Myrtle for feedback for time to time. Today I want to thank her directly, but she arrived first. So I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I'd refuse it anyway. But wait. If you want to thank her directly, does it mean you're done with the game?
Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your, not your.
Oh, so you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It was a slip of tongue, okay? I'm sorry. Interesting that Neil can actually tell that. It's like, can you fucking read the apostrophes in my of my language somehow? How'd you even pick? Yeah. Again, I'm just speaking before Freya today, apparently. How'd you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. Absolutely not.
We just know.
Back to you, Aqua. So, you're done with your game. There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix, but players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for a video game? That depends on the game. But in Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing, control, and UI, UX. I can't remember what this is. Ugh. It must be fun to have finished working on your creation. It surely removes some of the weight on my chest. Just replace it with another weight. I mean, there's still more to come after you're done. I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. If I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. Even after all that. If it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya. But please be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, after our first meeting. I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app. Then I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, Some of them are better than others. But it's still an enjoyable experience to read them. So I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through. So I'm sure you'll both be fine. You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know. I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share, and that's sarcasm. I know that much. Ugh, Aqua. I'm sorry if it sounded that way. But yeah, I kinda get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different from me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight. But no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Full Metal Conflict had a new game every 2 years. Yes. I don't really work on them. Not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell you under friend DA, okay? Alright. I'm not with paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP, or worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? That's what I thought at first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write for years. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team has been making pitches. Dozens of them. Hundreds. Thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch. There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 samurai, that's what they said. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes our team works to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target. We jump in. No wonder you folks were considered the 7 samurai. Yes, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually, developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When was the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined the company, I guess. That's like 4 years ago. Dude, no wonder you're so burnt out. Yeah, that's right. Brave face, Aqua. Brave face. Yep, that's why. You need a vacation. But I can't just take one. You can. In fact, you will do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is... I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. But where should I go? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. You will? I'm going with you for this long weekend/vacation. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey. Okay. I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? Still a long weekend getaway, right? Alright. Oh, I'm so excited. That's right. Wonderful lesbians. Meet each other, go out, date, come back a couple so I can say I fucking knew it. I mean, for more reason than that, but that's what I'm gonna do. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry? Don't be... Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway. I'll come with you. To my apartment? No, we'll walk together to the bus stop, just like last time. Oh. Don't sound too disappointed, Aqua. Okay, then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find joy during your vacation. God, the squishing noise every time. Ugh. Okay, see you folks later. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one too, Freya. I know, but not now. I've got to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, are you gonna close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. And please, take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with? Still on the house. I definitely won't say no. But no Gala. A little sad, because I might have figured out the recipe. Alright, let's see what's in today's newspaper, then we'll catch up on the short stories Freya wrote. Okay, it's now October 2nd. Evening Whispers is with the people for stricter gunwith laws. Oh, that's the newspaper, that's right. A new, healthier Fury said div might be available sooner. Action video game Rising Hell, blamed for violence in school. I mean, we all know that's bunk. Okay. Also, wait, I should also save. Also, because we're currently here. So, counting today, there's 4 in-game days left. Ooh. Alright. Oh. Okay, no, we already did that one. So the only reason to learn how to fly. Happened again, I told her, as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. This again. She sighed, like she wanted to stub her own cigarette out on my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know, seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that it was a stupid suggestion. She looked pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we talked about this. In fact, this conversation tended to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking. Go out. Stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. Hey, Panace, welcome in. Good to see ya. Hope you're enjoying your recent streams. Oh yeah, I saw that other recording you sent me. It sounded like you might have had audio issues for Rochea, or he was speaking at a distance, so we only caught your side of the mic. But otherwise, it looked like a well-done stream. I think getting used to making idle conversation when there's no one else would be a good skill for the moments in games when it was just you. But you are otherwise doing fantastic. Let's see, I can't remember if you've caught any of the other Coffee Talk streams, to be honest. But we're a couple episodes in now. It's not a major thing. Let's see. It's fantasy world, like orcs, elves, vampires, werewolves, but it's like the modern world. Like, instead of people judging each other for skin color, it's because different races. They were across the room and was playing the funny... Okay, yeah. Urban fantasy, yes. Thank you, Brazen. But yeah, we're pretty much just a bartender. Well, not a bartender, we're a coffee bartender. Like, not stuck up Starbucks, but we mix drinks here. And stories and, to a lesser degree, romance is a minor theme connecting everyone. Actually, no, not romance. Connections between people. Because one of the big stories is between an overprotective father and his daughter who's in the music biz. So yeah, connection is definitely better than romance. But it's also kind of reflecting all these short stories. Yeah, I'll wrap this one up. Then we have one other short story. But in-game, these are all written by a writer friend who is coming in working on her book here. Just I like a reading on stream. It's like a view into that character's mind. You need to stop overthinking. Go out. Stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know, I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now, Vibe was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what will come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. It's like, that's a different issue. No, another stupid suggestion. I'd get jailed for that. Okay. She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes at me. Well, what happened to you recently? Huh? You don't usually overthink quite this much. So something must have happened. Truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed, but she knew me. She knew about my problems, so I told her. Thank you for the sip. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew he'd recently got married to someone he loves. Someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who'd quickly be accepted by the family he was born in and the family he's about to make. But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced, and when he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday. The fact that I might have to choose between, at least when I see people on the train, and imagine a life with them. Those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a certain kind of problem, though. And she's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump. To die? That's not to fly, you fool. Because that really happened, all the things that are scaring me won't matter. I can fly! Why the hell would I still care about all these boring, everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said as she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. Let's see, I know I just checked the calendar. Counting the day, there are 3 in-game days left, and then a 4th, which I assume is going to be mostly prologue, consequences of my actions type thing, which will be fun. Alright. Happily ever after, ever after, ever after, continued. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. I do want to be with you, here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo. An infinite loop of this exact hour forever? Hell yeah, I do. That's probably the last time Romeo remembers having a really meaningful conversation with Juliet. Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one also has a beginning. And it begins with an introduction. Romeo, young man of 20, he comes from a quite conservative, but not yet out of touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him. He hates it even more knowing that his life so far is fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just the icing on the cliched cake. Juliet, a young woman of 20. She also comes from a quite conservative, but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the names her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life so far is fulfilling half the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die stupidly over it. Both of them study at the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who'd naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an overenthusiasm for assigning group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group assignment is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting, and the many, many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance she's spent a lot of time in the library with. Nor, honestly, does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about the literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But as time goes on, and as the group assignments keep coming without the lecturer ever assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. They both begin to see things in the other that they hadn't noticed before. Though for Romeo, that fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for somebody like her? And named Juliet, no less? I can't accept it. My mind's just playing tricks on me. Again and again, round and around, his thoughts chase themselves whenever he sees her. The day is Monday, and Romeo has class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to a class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table. The table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is empty. Fuck, he mutters. Under his breath, he doesn't curse because Juliet is not there, of course. Rather, he curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book, begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whispers a curse again. Not cursing because he's disappointed it's not Juliet. Cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. That sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned, but today brings a small smile to his face. Fuck. Curses Romeo again, after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. And I don't think we're reading this all, because good lord, this... I assume this is going to be her actual book that she's making. That is impressive. But would probably take up a good chunk of the story. I'm going to have to read after stream, though, because I'm very curious what's in there, where it's going with this. Not normally a huge fan of second-person narration. Mostly because of, let's see, right up here, number of times the narrator has to repeat the name of the person, of Romeo, because it's not from the perspective of Romeo, it's an outside observer, so they can flip between both points of view, I assume, but God, the repetition of names, when they could easily do he, she, because it's some sort of like romance story, a straight one at that. God. Okay. New days come. We know Neil's not coming in, so our wonderful spaceman in his suit. Oh, it's this guy. Okay. So I don't have anything against Mr. Bailey's himself. He's an elf. I say for Panis, because, like I said, pretty sure he's not been in a previous stream for this. is also kind of in a Romeo-Juliet type relationship, where he's willing to leave his family for a succubus they don't approve of, but she's not willing to leave her family for him. Apparently they have different values of the importance of family, and they're just not seeing eye to eye yet. At the moment, I believe they're broken up. But my beef is just, like, this is the most, like, put your hand over your drink to make sure no one puts shit in it type grain I don't like. And honestly, the scarf is just making it feel worse to me. But like I said, he's a decent dude. It's just, God, he stares at me in a way that makes me uncomfortable. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are? That's new. Freya's not here? She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Okay. It might be a little bit because of the voice I'm giving him, but these lines are not helping the not being a creep factor. Her friends have visited this place from time to time. Just not as much as her. Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know. If she said they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. Let's see, Brazen. Bailey's kind of does have a Backpfeifengesicht kind of thing going on. Sounds like one of those German phrases made of other wonderful suffixes and such that make a word that English just might need. A face that needs a slap. Oh, that's perfect. That's wonderful. Love that phrase. English fucking needs that. Yes, that person certainly has a face deserving of a slap, but hidden, so if they don't quite hear you correctly, you can just, wave it off. It's like, what was that you said? It's like, huh? What's it to you? I'm talking to my friend here, you know? Okay, but if he says, they're just friends, they're just hanging out normally, but if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for meeting up. Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? Sorry, maybe you just need to, shave your eyebrows back a little bit. Because when they come up here, it looks like you're furrowing your brow. I think that's... Bailey just needs some work for me to trust them. It's part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things, whether they need a friendly ear or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well, because, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I would have thought. So, what are you reading for me right now? Unfortunately, backhanding someone across the face is not on the menu. And even if it was, there probably wouldn't be a lot of purchasing in Seattle. I shan't say. Why? That would break the charm. The hell was that? I guess I can say this much. whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language, including our interaction now. Man, now I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. Okay. Watch the phrasing, sir. You're on thin fucking ice with me. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What will you be having tonight, sir? Hot chocolate. With ginger and cinnamon. Heard that's a good drink for a bitter heart. We'll see. Actually, no. We should do ginger first. The order he gave us. Chocolate, ginger, cinnamon. Yeah. Also, I'm still waiting on Gala. Because I think I figured out his drink. Okay, the bitter heart. Oh, did you look up the name of this drink first? Just to make sure I can properly prepare it? Because this is a little extra. I know you've got the falling out with your missus. But still. Oh, wait. Ooh, we might have found something out about it. Nope, that's just the new drink. Well, let's get this clicked out. Okay. Exclamation point. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Phrasing again, sir, please. I don't do... Ah, shit. I'm blanking on the term. I don't date people who recently broke up. In case I'm just... The rebound, that's it. Just in case I'm the rebound. You need some time to yourself, sir. Refigure out your romantic life first. Spending extra time decorating this drink. Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Lucy, tell me about yourself. I see you found the fun redeems I have. When you get more used to streaming, ask me how I do that. It's another free program. Though you'll have to set up the PNGs and sound effects yourself. Not that I can't help you, it's just more of a... It's more fun perusing files for that stuff. What do you want to know? Anything. Give me something, sir. Have I been on any sports teams? What caused me to start this business that sees less than 10 people a night? Okay, age... one of the less important things to start with getting to know someone, but sure. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop. Oh man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that. It's alright. But that's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder what I should ask next. Yeah, unfortunately this is the worst we've seen him yet. Apparently, dating a succubus made him less strange. Let's see. Last time someone called me special people, he was mortified by the time the last word crossed his lips. When he remembered I'm on the autism... yeah. Took the sentiment the way it was intended. Yep. I get that. But yeah, it's, this is certainly not the best foot to be meeting someone, or I guess getting to know someone, Panace, because, honestly, as creepy as he was the first time he came in, it was mostly just the face. He wasn't saying things that could be suggestive for someone looking for a rebound. Also, Freya's, been working hard, going by the bags under her eyes. Hello, everyone. Why are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I'm fine. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You'd be better asking what didn't happen. Oh, I'm guessing her writer friends kind of ripped her story to shreds or something. Because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And is my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Bailey's. I'll be able to keep you company. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised you remembered his name as out of it as you are. Because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I'll need a whole hell of a lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You really should just rest. Get something to help you sleep. Espresso. Please. Fine. Though honestly, if I had more control over what I would make, I'd go with a coffee tea mix. Because I've heard that's slightly better. It's a way to dilute the caffeine so it's more evenly absorbed by the body without just ruining the taste. I don't want to do this. You really need to have a rest, Freya. She will definitely ask later. Absolutely correct, Panace. In fact, there's probably another way I could have done that, because this game, the choices you make are all defined on the drinks you serve. There's probably a sleepy time remedy I could have come up with, but I don't think that's in here, to be honest. That'd probably be a tea. It'd probably be something I don't even have the recipe for, so yeah. You really need to have a rest, Freya. Just give me the damned espresso. Okay, hands off. This'll keep me from falling asleep. Ugh. How was the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice. But that also means things. And not a small number of them, mind you, need to be rewritten. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. It's just that. Okay, is she gonna crash out already? I'm going to my usual corner. Thanks for your coffee. I might make it through the night. She looks horrible. She does indeed. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. This isn't the first time she's acted like this. No. But this time the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? Hopefully it's not about getting to know me. I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight. This place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to thank your subconscious then. I guess you should. Oh god. It's his ex. Cool. I don't think it's going to get violent. Probably not even going to get horrible. But there's a chance someone's feelings are going to get hurt. Apparently this reminded me of a game played on DS as a kid. Oh, the Professor Layton games? Yeah. Let's see, brewed people teas to solve a case. Interesting. But, I mean, they're a very diverse set of puzzle games, so I can certainly believe it. Not sure whether I should think it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Bailey's. How? Aw. Reason to believe the entire Layton series has you brew teas, exempting the Ace Attorney crossover. I mean, you don't know how it is with lawyers, just no time for a good cuppa. Yeah, brewing teas being a particular recurring mechanic is not something I would have expected from a game that I know only from has a bunch of puzzles to solve. You first. No, you first. How about we flip a coin, guys? I was just going to ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. And they apparently both lied because they turned away to sigh. Oof. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Lucy. And what are you having this evening, Miss Lua? Gingerbread coffee, please. Alright. I think that's just double coffee and a cinnamon. Let's see. It might have some milk. Yep, don't trash it. Gingerbread coffee. Oh, wait. Is that one I have a recipe for? This sucks. Can't do that. Okay. Oh, wait. Coffee, ginger, cinnamon. Because gingerbread. Or I'm dumb. We'll see. But yeah, no, I don't like this game's recipe mechanic. Okay. At least I figured it out. I knew I'd made it before, but I just couldn't remember with what. Alright, here it is. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. Reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. Well, actually, I think I just found out something about her. Nope, that was the new recipe. Got it. Let's quickly get that. Excuse me, scene. See, the thing is, I knew the gingerbread coffee because for another patron, they knew caffeine and ginger was in a coffee, and that's what I made. It was not what they were looking for, but I know it existed. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any new jobs on at the moment. Because, well, you know. Yeah. I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to that last annoying job. It went well in the end. It kinda did. They paid me on time at least. And the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this. But don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Lucy, who's standing in front of us. Not even Lucy. Okay. So there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years. This is a kind of creep way to introduce this, sir. Because this is the girl you're talking about, and just, make it sound like, it's the friend of a friend type thing. It's not you, it's someone else. It's not the best way to rekindle romance in my book. But I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new, but somehow things escalated uncontrollably. And why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe. Or tiredness. Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway. I think she's trying to respond calmly as like an invitation. It's like, you want to talk? Go ahead and talk. We're both right here. Because like the breakup was a week ago. Baileys, I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. Thank you. I'm taking another sip. Rude. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really. If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. If you guys could stop communicating through a third party that doesn't actually exist, this might be fixed a lot quicker. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week, including that supermodel. You knew. That girl in the corner told me. Yes, including that supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool. What? He said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking about. A lot of truths. He's a bit like you, you know? Attitude-wise. You'd get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on... Pricing is 300. Yeah, no problem. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and best of luck on the 300 years of work you need to finish this week. Damn the calendars. I hope, in case you don't pop in Thursday, because I'm doing the Minecraft thing, in case you don't pop up then, I hope you have a good night then as well. It's, because I know a lot of people in our mutual friend group are going to be busy one way or another with their things. Alright. Actually, that's a good time for me to just stand up and stretch my knees for a second before continuing this. Okay. Ooh. My knees were very upset there for a bit. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on, you know, us? Oh. Before I go, just remember there are 10 kinds of people in the world. Those who can't count in binary, those who can count in binary, those who can recognize a ternary joke on sight. I've not done a lot of coding, but I've hung around enough people who did that I knew that joke as soon as I saw the word binary. But take care, Brazen. Alright, get the silly out. Get the silly out. We got some seriousness. Minecraft's update runs quite iffy now. Yeah. Like that's one of the reasons I was suggesting not to update it. Because newer stuff is probably going to demand more from it. I've had that MacBook long enough that a lot of companies had not gone crazy with the fucking trying to get all kinds of info from your computer beyond the, like, bug reports when something fails. And I get it. Of course, I mean... there's always a way to put it off. It's not something they really teach people how to do, though. Because I had been finding that myself and keeping it off the internet for a while. Yeah. I mean... Oh, I should go back to this window so I can do that. Can play without the update. I mean, for recent stuff, yeah. But like that version of the launcher I had when I gave you the laptop, you could play offline well enough in some servers. But I also had, like, intentionally kept it from ever having internet on. As soon as the Wi-Fi is up, it's like, oh, hey, now you can update all these programs and stuff. It's like, no, I can't. There's no internet, see? Haha. Yeah. No, what I was talking about with Minecraft, it might be you have that channel muted in my streaming server, but I'm doing a mod pack for Thanksgiving. So people who do not have people to spend Thanksgiving with can just chill in my chat. Those who have shitty Thanksgiving events can go check the recording when they get back home. It's also a start of a new series with a very fun, well, not fun mods, but interesting mods for exploration. I would not suggest downloading the mod pack I have, because I have a full-on desktop, and it's... I had to change some of the graphical settings to make it playable. So I don't think a laptop's going to handle it. But yeah, it'll be a fun little story thing for me to do. Wait, okay, now. Okay. Side conversations aside, seriousness. He's asking about what their future possibilities as a couple are. What about us? I'm not sure, Bailey's. What about you, yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire, and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds indeed? Actually, it's like me as the barista stepping in. It's like, actually, the odds aren't that bad. They're both friends. They came in here together, and actually, it's not important to your conversation. Ignore me. Sorry. What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Bailey's. I know I've been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family. And I know why that's very important for you. But Freya had said something that kinda hit me hard. And what was it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family. But I actually wanted to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Bailey's. I do. And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. What should we do? Lua. Yes, Bailey's. Please, let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do, after all. But you'll lose your immortality. Side note, this version of elves, they're immortal until they're kicked out the family tree, literally. So, just bring that up, because that's not all elf lore. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time. You won't have the perfect health and perfect life that's the elven privilege. But it's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy never would have blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. But that won't happen with us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Bailey's. I believe in you. Nope. That's the first time I've had that. One sec. I'm trying to screenshot this. Come on. I have a shortcut on my window. Okay, there we go. Finally. Because this is like adorable. Okay. Ooh, I got it just before that. Zoom in. Oh hey. So I got an achievement. I successfully finished their arc. I don't know if that means I did it successfully or just getting to this point, period, got me in. But you know what? It looks like a happier ending. Baileys. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So, what's our plan? Tomorrow's Saturday. Are we going on a date? Thank goodness you've known each other for 10 years. Because that might otherwise be a weird question to ask. I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. It's just... I'm not prepared to meet them. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about me first? It'll be alright. Well, I never forbade you from dating other races. They're not big fans of elves, that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure. I can trust you. Lua, thank you. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Huh? What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Holy shit, wait. This is Aqua's roommate. What a small world. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Lucy. Yes, I have not been listening in on this entire conversation. We're leaving. Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. The pleasure was mine. We're off then. See you. Thank you for coming. So the interesting thing about this game is that there is a mod I could have gotten to have this entire thing voice acted. But I said no. No thank you. I like making a bunch of silly voices myself and having to make do with my poor decisions the entire time. I think of it as practicing for my tabletop game, having to silly voices on command for my players. Yes, Espresso helped her for the moment. We'll see if she feels any better tomorrow or somehow worse. Hey, Freya. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. Okay. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing this story. Also, one sec, I got a big cough. So I have to see their struggle through to the end. It's important for the writing, you know? That's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that I'm rooting for them, you see. You're shipping real people, Freya. That's not allowed. It's not cool. No. Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't... Oh, shit. Gala. Okay. So this is a werewolf friend. We need to make him a drink that helps him. Unless he kills us right now. Which is not something I know if this game will do, but... I don't think I can say that any better than he did. Whoa! Freya, get over here! This wolf? Is that him? I think so. Yeah. Actually, are the scars visible in his Tomodachi? Sorry, Tomodachil? No, they're not. But, the jacket is... Okay. Welcome, sir. Yep, I get it. It do be like that sometimes. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me. He must have his reasons for coming here. We're gonna make his drink. You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Something to calm you down, maybe? Okay, Nope, not calming tea. So, the lore for this game, as it's come out, werewolves go into this fury during the full moon, except, and this is different for each werewolf, there is a certain something they can eat or drink that keeps them from going into this rage form. He's been working with us on that because he found out it's something that's lightly caffeinated, so tea, and has ginger in it. We... Tea? Wait, double check. Wait, come on. It's not letting us go into that at all. Okay. It's, milk and ginger. Right? Because, yeah, okay. Yes! This is it. Here's your... Is this it? Possibly. If not, I have not seen this version of him, even on the wikis, which means it's going to be hard to find this again for the thumbnail later, so we're doing it now. I'm going to have to do some editing for it, but that's fine. All I'll have to do is, like, right here where the shirt is. It's working. Oh, it's working. Fuck yes. Okay, which... We can't get into that whatsoever. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm just gonna... Just in case. Okay. What the hell? Okay, is this fixed? Nope. This is still fucking broken. Cool, cool, cool. I hope I don't need that for the rest of the night. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink. 100%. Well, whoever he is. This place survived. It's like, yeah, even more than that. If the coffee hadn't woken you up, that fucking would have. a fucking screaming werewolf in here demanding his Gala-had tea. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. And I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back all right by yourself? I'll manage. Take care on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See ya. Okay, Lemony Snippet? Fortune. Okay. For those of you who are not big readers, this particular drink is a reference to a book series. A book series by Lemony Snicket. A series of unfortunate events. Yes, that. That's not funny enough for that reaction, but somehow that just tickled me. Okay, it's 15 minutes early, but I think that's fine. Let's just see what's in this newspaper, and then see if the short story in the phone continuation, well, for one, is working again, and two, if it is Freya's next work. So, Weirdstein Company criticized for unfair depictions of werewolf in their latest box office hit. I know this is supposed to be an elf, but shaped like this, it makes me think of Vulcans from Star Trek. I think it's just because Spock has a haircut like that. Couchella 2020, do's and don'ts. And the Atlantic ambassador in talks with FIRE regarding immigration. So, this is the next day, because I remember the previous day was the second. But with this about Couchella, we're probably going to get for Rachel next time. I hope it's not bad news about the weird manager her dad is suspicious about. Probably Georgie, our police friend. Because Aqua would be out of town. She's the only other person I would think is connected to the migration thing. Oh, or I guess Neil might come back. And obviously, Gala as well. Okay, let's see if this is fixed. Yes. New day, fixed. Ah, that image is so small. Oh well. Yeah, we'll just save the game here. And just send out a little bit early. Alright, so that was a fun day. A lot of shit happened, and we still have several in-game days left to go. Including the final day, which will be like, I think it's 2 weeks after everything else. So, hoo boy. Alright, let's go to the BRB screen. And find someone to raid out to. Oh. Which is actually potentially helpful for you, Panace, because you're getting into streaming as of late. If you yourself have not watched a whole lot of bigger streamers, it might be you're unfamiliar with etiquette of... You got bored? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you don't watch a lot of streamers yourself, especially to like the end of their streams, you might be unfamiliar with the mechanic of raiding out to other people who are streaming. Which, when you're small, is really helpful at helping getting more eyes on your content. Though I always suggest trying to mix it up and not doing the same person back-to-back days unless they're close friends. Because if you're always doing it to complete strangers, they might come off a little weird. It's like case by case. Only seen me in one topic grade? Perfect. Let's see. Ooh. Yes, we are going to go over to Podgkin. Not only because they're doing Minecraft, which I plan to do a couple days, but they're also being part of the Sox VTuber Agency, SVA, SMP apparently. And I think that'll be fun. Let's see, /raid. I'm just going to copy her name, because I'm scared I'm going to misspell it. And I actually also have a raid message. Which, yeah, that's the correct one. So you don't have to do that, but you can. I usually have it there just so people can copy paste. Those are global emotes, so you don't have to worry about not popping up. But as always, both people who are here and my tome readers who are watching the VOD, I hope you guys are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so your body can take care of you. And with Thanksgiving this week, I sincerely hope you don't have to worry about too much annoying family issues, but if you do, I hope you are able to keep your cool long enough to get the fuck out of there before blowing up at the worst moment. I know I certainly struggled with that from time to time. But go ahead and raid out now. See you guys around.